Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss complex compounds, which is one of the most important topic for the NEET examination preparation. The chapter is majorly divided into 4 major parts, and from each part there is a probability of one question in the NEET examination. Usually they ask at least one question in the coordination compounds, but sometimes the question can reach up to 2 or 3 also in the examination. That is why this chapter holds a big place in the NEET distribution of the questions. First part is comprised of the introduction as well as the nomenclature plus the Werner theory part. From here, usually one question is asked maximum. Second part is comprised of the CFT and the application of CFT, from which colors some questions can come. Sometimes the question comes on the configuration and the hybridization. VBT is also included here. We will be focusing upon the CFT, so all the VBT questions will also be solved simultaneously. Third, it also depends. The third thing is which is asked in the NEET examination is from the organometallic compound, majorly synergic bond and carbonyl complexes which are there. From there the question comes. And fourth and the most important topic is the isomerism. From isomerism, 99% chances are there that the question comes in the NEET examination almost every year, and mostly the questions are repeated from the previous year question bank also in the isomerism topic. So without wasting any time, let us start with the complex compounds. So the complex compound, firstly, how do we get it? Initially, scientists found that some salt mixed with another salt to make a third salt. That means one stable compound react with another stable compound to make another stable compound, and they are mixing up in the stoichiometric ratio. So there were 2 classes defined. One was double salt and one was complex compound. The example of double salt is carnallite, KCl-MgCl2.6H2O. More salt, the shortcut to remember more salt is FAS, FAS, FAS. So it is ferrous ammonium sulfate. That means ferrous sulfate and ammonium sulfate. So FeSO4, NH4 whole twice SO4.6H2O, potash alum. The formula is K2SO4.Al2SO4 whole thrice .24H2O. But in simplistic manner, we can write in this ratio also, because if you see there are 2 potassiums, 2 aluminium, and total 3 plus 1, 4 sulfate are there. So and 24 water, you can divide that by 2 and you can get potash alum formula is like this. Now the major thing is that if double salt go in the aqueous medium, it give all ions. It will furnish all the ions which are present here. For example, if carnallite is dissolved in the aqueous medium, you will get K plus also, you will get Mg2 plus also. So basically, and obviously Cl minus also. So whenever we take a double salt, all the possible ions are ionized in such cases. Next, in complex compound. In complex compound, the example we can take is potassium ferrocyanide. So the example is K4FeCN whole 6. This is how we represent the complex compound. How this was made? This was made when 4KCN was mixed with, we can say, FeCN whole twice. So 4KCN was mixed with FeCN whole twice. We got a complex, we got a compound which we dissolved in water. So we were expected to get Fe2 plus also. We were expected to get Cn minus also, because while mixing, salt 1 and salt 2 contained Cn minus also, Fe2 plus also. But in reality, in aqueous medium, any of these ions are not found. So what we understand ki bhaiya, this FeCN whole 6 is together in the aqueous medium, it is not getting dissociated. In very layman language, if I explain, then this box is like a protective box or protected box. This protected box is not dissociating in the aqueous medium. So here we understand Fe2 plus is not coming, Cn minus is not coming, but K plus will be coming out. That's why, because K plus is free to go out, I can call it free ion. And Fe2 plus and Cn minus together, they will make a box which are staying as a protected box, and that box is known as coordination sphere. Let us see one more example. We have this complex also, CuNH3 whole 6. Here, cobalt will be called a central atom. NH3 is a lone pair donor. NH3 donated the lone pair to cobalt, so it's a lone pair donor. We call it a ligand. Outside this box, we have Cl minus ion which will be called as free ion. So Cl minus ion will be called as free ion. Why free ion? Anything outside the box, if you add in the aqueous medium, freely it can go out. It will not be stuck. Whereas cobalt 3 plus is here, and ammonia, it will never come out of the box in the aqueous medium. It will just remain in the same box, and this box is known as coordination sphere or coordination entity. So let's see one more time what I said. The central atom is cobalt here. Amine or NH3 is called the ligand here. He is the lone pair donor. Cobalt or central atom is the lone pair acceptor. So cobalt was there. NH3 gave the lone pair through a coordinate bond. Cobalt took the lone pair. 6 of them gave the lone pair to cobalt. Also, Cl minus is outside, that is free to move in the aqueous medium. So it's a free ion, we can call it. And this kind of a compound is called complex compound. So this is the basic definition. Now let us go on to the Werner's theory part. Werner was the first scientist, Alfred Werner, who tried to identify and define the bonding pattern in the case of complex compounds. So what he was doing, he was studying the compounds made by mixing COCl3 with ammonia. So what he found, when COCl3 is mixed with ammonia, he expected that in the aqueous medium, CO3 plus ion should come out. So basically what happened, when he made the compound and then when he added it to water, so we understand if they form a complex compound, CO3 plus will not be free, he will be inside the coordination sphere, inside that protected box, and it will not be coming out. So Werner firstly discovered this how. So he found firstly 4 different colors are shown when different stoichiometry of ammonia reacted with COCl3. He was surprised to see that COCl3.6NH3 was yellow, .5NH3 was purple, but .4NH3 had 2 different colors. Later on, we came to know that green and violet 2 different colors are there because even though the structural formula is same, but they are isomers of each other. Which isomers? Geometrical isomers. By the end of this lecture, we will discuss the geometrical isomers also. But COCl3.4NH3, COCl3.4NH3 gives green and violet color. Why 2 different colors comes? Direct answer, because they are geometrical isomers. That's a very clear-cut question for the NEET exam. Let's carry on. So what he did the experiment that at that time very less technology was there. So what he did, he used the most basic chemistry. What he did, he took 1 mole of all this compound and added AgNO3. What he thought, here Cl minus is there. So if Cl minus is there, then with Ag plus it should form the precipitate. What was the experimental result? He found that with COCl3.6NH3, 3 moles of AgCl was precipitated. As expected, there were 3 Cl minus. So with 1 mole of compound, 3 moles of AgCl got precipitated. So 3 Cl minus precipitated as AgCl. Surprising thing happened here. When you took this compound, then only 2 moles of AgCl got precipitated, and also when you took these 2 compounds, only 1 mole of AgCl was precipitated. Let us understand from this data how to write the formula, how Werner have written the formula for the first time. So let us see. So we understand by this time that there is a protected box. If any ion is inside this protected box, it cannot be precipitated because he is not free to go out in the aqueous medium. So we understand that 3 moles of AgCl got precipitated. That means for every 1 molecule here, 3 Cl minus are free. They are free. They can go in the aqueous medium. They can react with the Ag plus and they can form a precipitate. That means all the 3 Cl are outside because there are 3 moles of precipitate of AgCl. Similarly, when there were 2 moles of AgCl PPT, we understand only 2 Cl are outside, only 2 Cl are free ions. Similarly, when you had 1 mole of AgCl PPT, we understood only 1 Cl is free, remaining are inside the protected box. They are not making the precipitate. So what we got the formula here? Let us see what will be written in the box. Out of COCl3.6NH3, 3 Cl went out. So cobalt, NH3 whole 6 remained inside. Similarly here also, out of 3 Cl, understand, out of 3 Cl, 2 went out. That means 1 Cl will remain inside, 5 NH3 will remain inside, and 1 cobalt will remain inside. That means CO, NH3 whole 5 Cl will remain in the box. This is a protective box. It cannot be dissociated in the aqueous medium. It will remain together. COCl3.4NH3, only 1 mole AgCl PPT. So bhaiya, we understood 1 Cl was outside. Out of 3, 2 are still inside. So CONH3 whole, how many are there? 4. And out of 3, 1 is outside, 2 are inside. And the next one will also have the same formula. So this is how Werner found the formula. So let us understand one by one. Let's say this is 1, 2 and 3. So if I take, let's say the second one, if I take the second one, or I can take one by one all of them. If I add first one in the aqueous medium, what will I get? So understand here, you will get this box together. So CONH3 whole 6. How many plus? Now we know crisscross rule here. If you have AX BY formula, na, that means X was the charge over B and that is negative, and Y is the charge over A and that is positive. Sir, how do you know it is positive and negative? Simple. The first atom is written with the positive charge. The second atom is written with the negative charge. Here also, you have one of this box. Consider this box also just like a cation. Consider this box also like one ion only. So you had one box and 3 Cl. That means 3 is the charge on the box. So that is 3 plus. And Cl get a minus 1. This is what you will get. And how many Cl minus came out? 3 Cl minus. When second one went into aqueous medium, check properly. When second one went to aqueous medium, you got a box and you got 2 Cl minus out. So dekho yaar, 2 Cl minus came out. What is the charge on this box? I have to find by crisscross rule. 1 was the charge on Cl, minus 1. And this 2 plus will be the charge over the box. So I get CONH3 whole 5 Cl coming out. So this complete thing is just a cation. It is like Ca2 plus, just like Ca2 plus. This is just like Al3 plus. Don't treat them differently. It is also one ion, just that the ion is a little complex. That's why it is called complex ion. It's not a simple ion. Third one, so bhaiya, by this time you are already expert. You will be able to tell कि when Cl minus comes out, the box, third one, when it goes in the aqueous medium, when third one goes in the aqueous medium, the box will be having CONH3 whole 4, Cl2 and Cl minus, and charge on the box will be plus 1. Why sir? It is 2 here. No, bhai sahab, 2 is inside the box. So this Cl is also 1, this box is also 1. So they both are plus 1 and minus 1 respectively. So let's understand. Tell me bhaiya, how many particles are there in this case when one will go into water? So you have 3 particles of Cl minus and 1 complex cation. So total number of particles, how many are there? 4. 3 plus 1, 4. Here total particles 2 plus 1, 3. Here total particles 1 plus 1, 2. So let us see now. If they ask you a question mixing with solution and colligative property or with mixing with electrochemistry, how to get the answer? In electrochemistry, molar conductance they can ask you. Molar conductance will be proportional to either charge. Either charge means either you can check total positive charge or total negative charge. For simplicity, I will check total positive charge. Obviously, in a salt, positive, negative are equal. So you can check anything, but check positive. Make sure that every time you have to practice the same thing. So batao yaar, who is having maximum positive charge? He has 3 plus, he has 2 plus, he has plus 1. So bhaiya 1 more than 2 more than 3. He has a plus 3 charge, he has a plus 2, he has a plus 1 charge total. Next, colligative property, number of particles it is proportional to. You might be knowing it already that colligative properties are proportional to number of particles in the aqueous medium. So how many particles here in the first case? Total 3 plus 1, 4 particles. Second case, 2 plus 1, 3 particles. And third case, 1 plus 1, 2 particles. So फटाफट बताओ यार भैया 1 plus 1 2 particles means 1 Cl minus 1 complex cation. So total 2 particles. So this way we can easily find the order of conductance and colligative property. So now let us do one numerical on the Werner's theory. So the question says if 0.1 molar 100 ml of COCl3.5NH3 is mixed with excess of AgNO3, find the moles of AgCl precipitated. So let's see how to do this question. So देखो यार, firstly we knew the formula of this compound now after the Werner's theory. that if there are 5 NH3, then 5 NH3 will come inside. That's a trick. All the NH3 will come inside and total number of ligands should be 6 here. So if there are 5 NH3, how many Cl required inside? 1. So total will become 6. That's a trick for Werner's theory for writing this. So bhaiya, the formula I got CuNH3 whole 5 Cl and remaining Cl will go outside. So this is the scenario. So seeing this formula, I can understand that one such compound is going to give 2 free Cl minus. So one complex gives 2 free Cl minus. So batao yaar, molarity is given, volume is given, and we know moles is equals to molarity into volume. So what we get? We get the moles of this complex as 0.1 into 100, that is 10 millimoles. Don't be surprised with the millimoles here. Why? Because you took milliliter, so you got millimoles. You would have taken liters here, 0.1, you would have got liters here. So I will at the last convert the millimoles also into moles whenever it is necessary. But right now for simplicity I am solving कि भैया the moles of complex is 10 millimoles. So simple unitary method, if one complex have 2 free Cl minus, that means 2 AgCl PPT will come. Then bhaiya 10 millimoles will have how much? So 10 millimoles compound will give 20 millimoles AgCl PPT. Simple bhai sahab. One gives 2 free Cl minus, that is 2 AgCl PPT. So bhaiya 10 will give 20. So 10 millimoles give 20 millimoles. And how much is that? 20. Milli means, dekho yaar, milli means 10 to the power minus 3. So 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 moles of AgCl, that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 moles AgCl is the answer. They can also ask you the same question the reverse way. In which reverse way? See, they can ask you this way, कि भैया, they can give you कि some moles of AgCl got precipitated. What's the formula of the compound? So simple yaar. If 2 10 to the power minus 2 moles of AgCl is precipitated, then you will do just in the opposite way. Ki bhaiya, these many got precipitated from 10 millimoles. Then how much will be the precipitation with 1 mole? So 10 millimole precipitate this much. So 1 precipitate 2. So we understand ki 2 Cl will be outside. So both way we can do. So first one I told you the table, I told you in the way 1. When we knew the precipitate and we found the formula. Now I told you कि भैया we know the formula and how to find the precipitate. This question is very important for NEET examination. Make sure that you practice it well. Second part, in this topic of Werner's theory, when it is mixed with the new theory, primary and secondary valencies were redefined. On this questions come in the NEET exam. So the simple shortcut is that you can assume the primary valency to be oxidation state and secondary valency to be the coordination number. So देखो यार, what is coordination number? Coordination number is number of coordinate bonds formed by central atom. Central atom is forming how many coordinate bond? For example, each NH3 and each Cl will make one coordinate bond with CO. So CO is forming how many coordinate bond? 5 plus 1, 6. So his coordination number will be 6. ठीक है भाई साहब? One more thing I can give you the example of CONH3 whole 5 Cl Cl2, and I can give you the example of CONH3 whole 6 Cl3. This is a heteroleptic complex and this is a homoleptic complex. So what is heteroleptic or homoleptic complex? Heteroleptic complex have 2 different or more than 2 different ligands inside the box. Homoleptic complex have the same exact ligands inside the box. So when the same ligands are there only homoleptic, when different ligands are there heteroleptic. 2 or more than 2 ligands are there. Now let's talk about it. So bhaiya, oxidation state of primary valency is represented by dotted lines and secondary valency by the bold line. So dekho yaar, there are 5 NH3 and 1 Cl making coordinate bond with the central atom. So bhaiya, secondary valency I will get 6 here. So here I represented with the bold line 6 coordinate bonds being formed. 5 are formed by ammonia and 1 is formed by Cl. Secondary valency is represented by the bold line that we have represented already. Primary valency is represented by the dotted line. Now check, cobalt is +3. His primary valency is satisfied by Cl -1. here and Cl minus 1 here also. So total there are 3 Cl, 1 inside the box, 2 outside the box, which together are giving 3 minus charge, which is responsible for balancing the primary valency. So wherever the atom or the ion balances the primary valency, we write it with dotted line. So there are 2 Cl outside, so 2 dotted line written. So will the dotted line come inside this or outside? What will be the scenario? Already we have discussed that Cl will be outside and at any angle they can come. Plus this third Cl which is inside the box is satisfying both primary and secondary valency. He is having a negative charge. So bhaiya, he will satisfy the primary valency by giving the negative charge. So plus 3 will be satisfied. 1 because of this Cl, 2 because of those Cl. Also it is making a coordinate bond with CO. That's why it is satisfying the secondary valency also. So if someone asks you, bhaiya, primary valency is satisfied by whom? So primary valency is satisfied by this Cl and that Cl. That means these two Cl and this Cl inside the box also. But only primary valency is balanced by only these two Cl. So these two Cl balance only primary valency. This Cl balance both primary and secondary valency, which is inside the box. So if any anion comes inside the box, he balances primary secondary valency both. If anion is outside the box, he balances only and only the primary valency. So how many Cl minus are balancing the primary valency only in this complex? Answer is 2. Now we'll go to the nomenclature part. So now let us do a quick recap of the ligands in our course. So what we understand, कि देखो यार, if there is a central atom, then ligand will make a coordinate bond with the central atom, and both the electrons of this bond is given by the same atom, that is the ligand. Such kind of a bond is called coordinate bond. That's why complex compounds are also known as coordination compounds as well. So here the metal will be accepting the lone pair of the ligand in the vacant orbital of his. So metal should have vacant orbital to keep the lone pair, and ligand on the other hand should have the lone pair to donate. So what we understand, that metal is going to act like Lewis acid. Who are Lewis acid? Lone pair acceptors are Lewis acid. And ligand will act as a Lewis base. Who are Lewis base? Lone pair donors are the Lewis base. So let us see the ligands. Firstly, what is denticity? Denticity is for ligand. Understand this thing clearly. Denticity is for ligand. It is the number of bonds formed by a ligand with the central atom simultaneously. So if I am the ligand and if I hold the central atom by 2 coordinate bonds, so I am a didentate ligand. If I hold the central atom by 1 coordinate bond, I am a monodentate ligand. So denticity is number of bonds formed by the ligand simultaneously. What is coordination number? If you remember, in the previous frame also we have done coordination number. Coordination number is number of bonds formed by central atom. For example, if I am the central atom and there are 4 ligands, each one making 1 bond with me. So each ligand made 1 bond. So the denticity of the ligand is 1. But I made total 4 bonds with 4 different ligands. So my coordination number will be 4. So coordination number is number of coordinate bond formed by the central atom, and denticity is number of coordinate bond formed by the ligand with the central atom simultaneously at a time. तो देखो यार, monodentate, that means who forms only 1 coordinate bond. Examples are X minus, fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide. Water, 0 charge, NH3, 0 charge. Cn minus, cyanido we can say. NO2 minus, nitrito we can say. COOH minus, pyridine. Also, Cn minus has another combination Nc minus. NO2 minus has another combination ONO minus. Similarly, I can take one more example. NCS minus has another combination of SCN minus. So, bhaiya, Cn minus, Nc minus, I will talk about this. These are called ambidentate ligand also. After this frame, in the next frame, I will talk about it. Didentate ligand, oxalato is C2O42 minus, ethylene diamine. IUPAC name is ethane 1,2-diamine. So you can understand ethane 1, 2 diamine, and these 2 nitrogen have the lone pair to donate to the central atom simultaneously. So bhaiya, it is a didentate ligand. Dimethyl glyoxymato DMG minus has -1 charge, ethylene diamine has 0 charge, oxalato 2 minus. Glycinato is derived from glycine, which is amino acid, optically inactive amino acid. And bhaiya, glycinato has a formula of NH2CH2COO minus, and here oxygen is the donor atom. ठीक है भैया. So NH2CH2CO minus we have here. Sometimes this nitrogen and this oxygen both, when they are acting as donor atom, that's why it's called didentate ligand. तो भैया nitrogen oxygen both are donor atoms. So this one oxygen having negative charge and this nitrogen both are the donor atoms here in the case of glycinate. It's a didentate ligand. Tridentate ligand, the example, tridentate ligands mostly in the NEET exam they don't ask. So I'm just giving you examples which can be asked in your institute examination directly. So tridentate is diene, one example, diethylene triamine. Tetradentate example is triene, triethylene tetramine. Now hexadentate is extremely important, including the structure. It came in the JEE advanced paper of 2014 also. IIT JEE it was called back then. 2010 also. So hexadentate ligand is EDTA4 minus. It is ethylene diamine tetraacetate. So go with the name, structure will be made. So ethylene, that means CH2CH2, diamine. So two nitrogen came here, just like NH2NH2. But they are tetraacetate. Now acetate is CH3CO minus. CH3COH is acetic acid and CH3CO minus is acetate. So if I make it connect to nitrogen, so what will happen? It will become CH2CO minus, CH2CO minus, CH2CO minus, CH2CO minus. So bhaiya 2 here and 2 here hydrogen got replaced by CH2COO minus, and bhaiya this is what we call as a hexadentate ligand. Who are the donor atoms? This oxygen, this oxygen, this nitrogen, this nitrogen, this oxygen, this oxygen. So total 4 oxygens and 2 nitrogens are the donor atoms, making it a hexadentate ligand, also known as ethylene diamine tetraacetate, EDTA, negative, 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 4 minus. So bhaiya, this is about the denticity and the normally used ligands that we are going to use. Make sure oxalato, ethylene diamine, glycinato should be very properly done along with the structure because they are directly there in the NCERT. Now I'm going to explain you ambidentate and flexidentate ligand followed by the nomenclature.